Good morning, chicks and chickens. Welcome back to Old Man Farm. My name is Sid as always, but unlike always, I did not hit the recording button on my software, so I am doing this voiceover style, not live as being recorded. So I would imagine that my voicing is going to be fairly sparse through this, and it's going to be a little bit odd of an episode. So if this is your first episode, don't give up. Go watch a different ep. But if it isn't your first episode, then this one's gonna be a little different. I completely spaced. I woke up and I came to do this episode and thought I had everything. You know, it's the kind of thing that I don't know about you guys, but at least for me, it's the things that I have done a million times that I find myself screwing up because you fall into a rhythm and you think or rather you don't think so much about it, you know, and you just do the thing. Well, in this case, the thing didn't get done, so whatever, here we go. I will say, we enter into a pretty interesting set of quests today. I'm excited to get to and talk about. And beyond that, I believe right now I was talking about how I had borked up the first of the year and completely forgotten to grab any seeds and whatever. So we'll be remedying that today, obviously, and just trying to get ourselves ready so we can move forward. I know that obviously my intention is to get to the Badlands ASAFP because it is the coolest thing happening to me right now. I think it's so new and it's so different. You know, it's not. I mean, hey, an extension to our farm, super cool, exciting in one way. But the Badlands, are you kidding me? Skeletal mages and dragons and all kinds of manner of crazy stuff, and the prospect of a new town. Come on, I must know. You know what I mean? However, I will say, by the end of the episode, we find a different objective that is a bit more of a short-term thing. You know how it goes. You stumble upon a short-term goal and we start working towards it. So, anyway, I'm going to sort of just let myself play for a little bit here. This is so weird. This is the weirdest thing to do. But I'm just going to sort of let it go, and I will pop back in when there is something to talk about. So, I apologize for all of you that are just listeners and not watchers. But I will do my best to provide something to listen to besides Concerned Ape's wonderful, wonderful music. Oh, you know what? Now that I'm back on Grover, it was brought to my attention that I, although could use a backpack mod, there's old Jumpin' Jeffries, we gotta give him a pet. But although I could use a backpack mod, Grover actually has saddlebags. There's no reason why we couldn't make use of him. He has a full 3-slot backpack, essentially, just riding around with us. Now, he's obviously not with us all the time. There we go, give him an apple. But he's with us a lot, and maybe we could store things in there that are... Oh, hey, never mind. I do remember this. Yeah, maybe we can store things in his saddlebags that, you know, we don't need all the time, but are worth keeping on us. Or maybe just bring back our produce and things in his saddlebags. I don't know. It's worth looking into, and we will definitely make use of it. But yeah, I realized here that our fiber was getting eaten by crows. So here we go. Oh, and you know what? This reminds me. I did say, when I first recorded this, that, hey, happy late Valentine's Day. I don't really celebrate holidays. I think those of you that are regulars know this. I just don't care. I don't have any attachment. I believe I quoted a song from my childhood that said, I am just a mutt and nowhere is my home. So yeah, I don't feel terribly attached to holidays, so I forget about them, or whatever to me. And luckily, most of the people in my life feel pretty similarly, so I don't get completely annihilated when I don't do things. That being said, I did make chocolate chip cookies for Valentine's Day yesterday, because I got my new pink KitchenAid, which is super nice. So we just picked up Andy's cellar as a quest. This is one of the ones I was talking about. He wants a cellar to start using preserve jars. So we'll get into that later, but right now we see. I look forward to it. Thank you. Yes, Lewis. As I stated previously, my contempt for him grows day after day, and I was very mad. I was like, you better not be here for taxes. I wonder how I'm going to get the gold for his commission. Let me help, Clint. I happen to be an adventurer. Hey, Senor Gooey, you dropped by at the right time. Every time's the right time to see Clint. I need to source 30 gold bars for a project. I was wondering if you were interested, seeing as you're an adventurer and all. I am, and I will. For payment, I was thinking I could use one of my new tools to clear away thicket on your farm. That big shed of yours is near natural hot springs. I'd clear a path for you. I wish I had my original reaction. I jumped for joy almost as much as my character. Great, thanks for your help. You can drop off the gold bars at the ingot shelf in the corner there. And he does have a really cute little ingot shelf. But yeah, my first reaction to that was, some pretty dramatic, you gotta be, kidding me kind of stuff, because I had no idea there was hot springs on our farm. I assume when he's talking about that big shed, he means our grandpa's shed, right? So, yeah, if you don't know what the gold bars are for, I won't spoil it. I didn't spoil it in the original recording either, but it's stupid. It's the most asinine thing. But I'm going to go ahead and put the gold bars on our to-do list so that, I remember it. And, but it's the most asinine project in the entire game, in my opinion. But given that it helps Clint out, and obviously it helps that it's going to, give us a hot spring. Got to give Dusty some pets. But either way, we were doing it either way. It just happens that it's going to be pretty dope. So we've got 500 wood, 75 hardwood, 500 stone, and 15 iron bars. A lot of which is really not terribly difficult to get. So, yeah, we'll get into that in a second. But first, I heard my dad put on quite a show at the community center, right when he was restored. I wish I could have seen it. And yes, Abigail, I wish everyone could have seen Pierre's madness. It was wonderful. So we are going to get the cranberry seeds that I had mentioned before. I think we're just going to buy the 100 that I had said originally. I know that will leave us with some overflow, but I don't really care. And then we're going to buy some flower seeds, both sunflowers and fairy flowers. But the intent here, at least tentatively, is that I don't believe we are going to garden our little Zen garden this season, because we have so much going on that I think devoting a few hours to that every single morning for like the first, week to 10 days of a season just really isn't in the wheelhouse right now. We've got the Badlands, we've got Andy's cellar, we've got so much going on. And so that's going to be put on the back burner. But for the cow's nose, right here I'm looking at the saddlebags, and yes, it's extensive. But for the cow's nose, I figured that I can actually make use of, planting them multiple times. So I think we're just going to cycle through our flowers there, at least until we find a collection of fairy flowers, or what I think that's what they're called, fairy roses, that I think are pretty enough to just keep the rest of the year. We'll see. But we're going to go ahead and fertilize the farm, and then go ahead and plant these cranberries. And yeah, I'll get back to you when we are done with this. Oh, you know what? While we're here, I guess I could say I was given a exhaustive list. Well, not list. It's really more of a dissertation on the different price points and profit points for some of the more profitable crops in the game, you know, sweet gem berries, star fruit, things like this. And although it, well, thank you very much, because it was excellent. It really laid out in no uncertain terms, you know, how to hit maximum profits. And when you can do so, because like I had said kind of briefly yesterday, it really does depend on what you have available to you. Oh, by the way, right now we're going to Robin's to get a workbench. It's Tuesday. I'm a ding-dong. She's at aerobics. But anyway, back to the crops. So, yeah, long story short, we're not going to enact any of these things this year, because it is definitely something that requires planning and some forethought. And we are already a day behind on our planting, given the fact that, again, I'm a bit of a dingus. So we're going to go ahead and make a note to remember the workbench, because, again, dingus. But, yeah, so I appreciate the help with that. And I don't know how far we'll get into the maximizing profits. And that was also stated in there, that sometimes it's fun to just sort of let it ride. But we got to talk to Jarek, because he's great. Whoa, this is great. Thanks a lot. How you doing, Senor Bitter? Let me know if you need any tips. I just made some notes on the different types of fertilizers. Let me know if you want to borrow them. To which I regarded, I guess I don't really know what Jarek does. I don't know. I picture him as, well, not working with fertilizer all day. He's too well dressed all the time. But, you know, I guess we're finding him on his off time. It's not like he's, you know, elbow deep in a pile of manure making fertilizer while, you know, looking that good, right? But what do I know? Oh, and here I realized I forgot to buy the grass starts at Pierre's because, again, mega dingus. And so we're going to go back and get those. Oh, man, because we get to finish off our hothouse today. And, oh, boy, it looks pretty. I'm going to cut out all these beeps and boops, though, okay? We'll be right back. Okay, and with that, I think maybe we have finally gotten all the things that we can get for today. So yeah, when we do the hothouse, I will make a note of it for you guys who are just listeners. You may want to take a little peek at the screen because it is real pretty. When we first get there, you know, well, I'll let you know, and we'll talk about it then. It's pretty nice. This is the weirdest way to record anything. I kind of hate it. I hope you guys don't hate it, and it'll definitely fuel me not screwing this up again. This is the kind of mistake you really only make once. Anyway, gonna make some fertilizer to finish out this field. Alright, for those of you who are just listeners, pop back in right now and check this out. Now that our fruit trees are grown in, I think this place is looking absolutely spectacular. Now, I do mess up as I go, and I really try to get very granular and place these grass spots one by one so as not to pick our fruit, but I just keep screwing it up. So eventually we just go full bull in the china shop. I accidentally move a lantern and I can't find it. I was very confused. I'm a ding dong. Anyway, I do end up finding it, but I am very, very happy with the way this turns out. I love the different fruit trees, and I really like the overgrown look that we sort of achieved with this. So I'm really interested to know what you guys think of this. I don't know. I'm sure there's more we can do with it. Oh yeah, we do have a coffee bean harvest. Now I'm sure there's more that we could do with it, but I gotta say I'm pretty happy with it. And once we have it fully blooming and, you know, with this grass all placed, our stupid workbench out of here, or is that the catalog table? Whatever it's called. I don't know. I'm saying that if I would love to hang out in this place. Like, I'm a big fan of greenhouses in general. I love going to botanical gardens and checking out greenhouses and all that stuff. It's just, I don't know. I think because I live in somewhere that is, well, it's not boring, or it's not a boring place in the diversity of plants. Ohio has a pretty extensive edible plant list. The fact is foraging in Ohio is like, you know, you walk 5 feet and you're tripping over something you can eat around here. So in that regard, it's pretty interesting. But it's, for me, it's, you know, it's what I grew up with. So nothing about it looks outlandish. It's not like when I go to the desert, I'm seeing, you know, cacti and all these kind of, you know, whatever, just cool things. Oh hey, we get to use Grover's saddlebags here. Actually load him up with various shed products, which is super cool. But yeah, I think getting to go to an actual botanical garden and see these, you know, these high humidity, you know, subtropical or tropical plants, and just getting to experience that, you know, within a relatively short distance from my home, is something that I really, I don't know, I really value that. And I've talked a lot about going to the Cleveland Zoo, and they have a wonderful interior rainforest. And now it's got animals and everything in it, but I'll be real with you. I mainly go to that building for the for the flora rather than the fauna. That's kind of more my thing there. But yeah, anyway, that's really kind of neither here nor there, and definitely not something I talked about on the first time through here. But it is something I find to be beneficial to my general life. And here in the game, I love that we have made that hothouse into almost more of a botanical garden style hothouse than a crop based one. It's less about farming and more about creating a biologically diverse, interesting place to hang out. So love that. Anyway, what the hell are we doing here? Right, okay. Trying to clear out some inventory, and then I think we're gonna head over to the shed. And Grandpa's shed, right? I believe that's what we're doing next. I don't know. Hey, I'm as much a stranger to this episode at this point as you guys are. I only recorded it like a half hour ago, but it doesn't matter. I blank things out. Oh, right. Okay, so I forgot the things in Grover's saddlebags, right? Because of course I did. But we're gonna go ahead and finish out the shed here. Just try and, you know, be somewhat efficient with our artisanal goods. Now, I know I mentioned, like, yeah, we're gonna quit being corn picklers, right? Which sounds like a really funny insult. But yeah, decided we'll just go ahead and we'll finish out the corn we have, because the only thing I planted that we can really pickle this year is eggplant. So I think we're gonna kind of work through the stock of what we have. And when we get to the point we can make more preserves jars, yeah, I'd really like to wear it down and maybe only keep, you know, I don't know, a dozen or so of each crop on us. We don't really, it's mostly for cooking. Start wearing it down, and maybe get rid of everything except our gold star crops or something, or I guess at this point we've sold a lot of those, maybe silvers, I'm not really sure. But point is, we're going to start pickling peppers after we finish out this corn, which should be one more batch, which is exciting because I love pickled peppers in real life. Now, I did make a realization here that these little end points, these end caps that I normally get rid of so that we can hit those corner preserve bins here, we only have to do every other. As you can see here, I'm getting rid of this one. And what that leaves us with is in every other row that we have a U-shaped setting of preserves jars. So that is actually going to give us a little bit more bang for our buck without, I don't know, without getting too complicated. Like I said, I'm sure there are more efficient ways, but for my purposes, this is pretty stellar. And it looks nice, I think. So kind of a win-win for me. We're not the most efficient people on this farm, but whatever, we get it done. Well, at this point, I think we're headed back towards the house. We're going to sell a few things and get ready for bed. This is absolutely... oh, you know what? I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to check the gold bar situation. towards Clint's ridiculous project. Well, it's the mayor's ridiculous project, but we're sitting at 18 gold bars. We only need 30, and we have, I don't know. Yeah, we'll have enough. We'll have enough gold ore to make the ingots. So this is really just a matter of a few days, and we can have that quest done for Clint. So I think right now, as I was on my way in here, I just wanted to say that I think the goal is to try and get Clint's cellar pretty moved along. Now, we have almost 2 weeks to do it. We have 13 days. And, oh, we forgot Penny's birthday. I suck. But, yeah, we have 13 days. So I figure let's get in there, get as much of those high number items as we can, really try to get that working for him. And we can take a day off here and there to maybe check out the Badlands. I don't know. I don't want to push that back too far, but I'd really like to get the cellar done for Andy. So if you're still here, I'd like your input on what you think we should do. Do you think that's an okay way to go about this? Sort of make good headway on his cellar so we know we can get it finished, and then maybe go check out the Badlands. But anyway, this was an odd episode. I do apologize. We'll be back on track for tomorrow. It was a dumb mistake, but either way, I appreciate you being here, and be good to each other. I will talk to you tomorrow. Good night.